Hey, everybody. So we're on emotional responses. When I listed it in the idea of the Auric program, I didn't really go into the homeostatic emotions. Just, I don't know. Sometimes I try to make it as straightforward as possible, but then at the same time, like to give deeper explanation, but going into the homeostatic emotions kind of opens up a whole another ball of wax. We have the emotions where we feel like love or something for other people, or our feelings get hurt, or things like that. But a lot of our emotional responses are based on our physiology, our nervous system, immune system, endocrine system. And I've talked about this a bunch, but it's one of those things that it's different than the way the everyday person thinks about emotions. Even in healing circles, it's different. And it's really based on what you would call homeostatic emotions. And basically, it's just your body generates emotions to help you thrive in the environment. Like if we're in fight flight, for example, if you're angry, you're going to fight better. If you're scared, you're going to run faster, right? So if you see a bear and you go, "Oh, there's a bear, I should probably run," versus, there's a bear, you're going to run way faster, right? And so even the idea of there's fight, flight, and we're going to be going into freeze and fawn in the next class, the cultivating the mystic art, and start addressing things like that. And freeze is another way of saying like collapsing, or you just you know you feel um so overwhelmed you don't take action. And even the idea of procrastination can be a form of an emotional response. You're in the freeze mode. And fawning is overcompensating, people pleasing, and self abandonment. And even that sounds like behaviors, but that's still a kind of emotional response. It's still tied to, overcompensating and people pleasing. It's still an emotional drive that's like trying to avoid harm or trying to avoid things that have happened to us in the past. We're trying to avoid those things from happening again. And so, we generate these feelings of even like positive feelings towards somebody who might be treating us very inappropriately, but you like them because, or you express that you like them because if they like you, they might be less likely to hurt you, betray you, knock your feet out from under you, whatever it might be, right? And so we have all kinds of these emotional responses that, it's not because of how we genuinely feel. It's because the body is feeling insecure, feeling, afraid, uncertain, um, feels that something in the environment is threatening. So a lot of times it's based on the environment. But when we have old traumatic experiences, sometimes they still feel like they're happening. And so the environment might be 20 years ago, it might not be right now. But your body doesn't necessarily know, uh, that car accident is over, or that screaming lunatic boss that I had for 2 years, that was in a job 20 years ago, or 30 years ago, or whatever it might be. And so our emotional responses can be very conditioned, and they just get stirred up because of little triggers in the environment, right? And we've been talking about that in the Astara practices and in some of the oil practices in the last few weekends, but really even the last few years. But, you know, one of the things that happens is our nervous system engages these like loops, right? It's tied to like the instinctive mind, it's tied to homeostasis. That's why this is called homeostatic emotions, is it's something that's a loop or repetitive, and the body maintains that. It's trying to protect itself. And so when you've had bad experiences in the past, part of what happens is, your body is always on the lookout for it to happen again, you know, and it is tied to survival. And in nature, it's a good thing to have. But when we're in society and things are a bit more refined than having to run from tigers and cheetahs and, you know, whatever might be out to get us, excuse me, bears, um, you know, our body hasn't gotten that memo yet. And we just have to temper the body. We have to keep tempering how the body perceives these things. And over a period of time, you can re-educate your body to be in a different place. That's part of working the nervous system so hard, so intensely. But here we're working it from the aspect of the aura, right? The programs in the aura. Remember, the aura and the auric programs are an energetic mold or blueprint that eventually physicalizes. So we want to establish a new, more upgraded version of the aura, right? That energetic mold or blueprint, right? So notice how you feel. Right? You're paying attention to your body, your emotions and feelings, and your thoughts. And we're using emotional elevation. And this is to specifically target these homeostatic emotions, these emotional responses. There's a big list of all the different things that it can impact. And keep in mind, I'm not saying that the emotions cause those issues, but a lot of times those issues will cause the emotional responses. It can go both ways, right? But like the last one on the list of conditions, if you look at vertigo, okay, your body has vertigo. If you think about it, your body feels unstable, it feels insecure, it doesn't feel like it can thrive in the environment. So then it starts generating emotion, right? It starts to generate emotion like, hey, I don't feel safe. I don't feel secure. I don't feel stable. Like something's going on. And it's because the inner ear is making you feel a little wonky. And so because of that, it's going to generate emotion, right? Same with pain. You have a little bit of pain, and the body is like, hey, red alert, something's going on. Pay attention to this part of the body. Something's happening. So I really don't judge whether the emotion aggravated the condition or is being produced by the condition. The emotion is there, it just needs to be addressed, right? So, with that, you're inhaling, your awareness is on the left side of the body. We're doing the standard approach. So you're doing the left side of the body, the whole left side of the face and neck, your left shoulder and ribs, your left hip, all the way down to the left outer ankle. Nice, long, slow, deep breath. Your awareness is on the whole left side of your body. Now your awareness is on the front side of your body, your face and throat, your chest, your abdomen, all the way down to the tops of your feet. Now, move your awareness to the right side of your body. Your whole right side of your face and neck, your right shoulder, your right ribs and right hip, down the outer leg to the right outer ankle. And then the back side of the body. The whole back side. Back of the head and neck, your whole back, your hips, the backs of your legs to your heels. And then pause and be still. Now we're going to do the advanced approach. The standard approach is good for everyday use. It's good to integrate into some other process that you might be doing that's associated with homeostatic emotions or emotional responses. And it's also a good way to do stacks, where you take 3 or 4 or 5, different programs and stack them together and do like a deeper healing that's specific to a situation or things going on in your life. But here, the advanced approach is something that you do maybe once or twice a week. It's a deeper dive, and it takes a little bit for your energy body to process. So let's go through and do the advanced approach. So again, your awareness is on the left side of your body, from the side of your face, all the way down to the left outer angle. Your awareness is on the left side of your body. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breath. Move your awareness to the back side of the body, the whole back side, back of the head and neck, your whole back, your hips, down the backs of your legs to your heels. And then the right side of the body, the whole right side. Right side of your face and neck, your right shoulder, all the way down to the right outer ankle. And then just pause. Begin inhaling. Your awareness is on the knees, the whole knee or the back of the knee, whichever one works for you. But long, slow, deep breaths with your awareness on the knees. The ankles. Your awareness is on the ankles. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. The soles of your feet. Soles of your feet. Just let go. Okay, let's begin the four quadrants again. Your awareness is on the left side of your body, left side of your face and neck, your left shoulder, all the way down to the left outer ankle. The front side of your body, the whole front side, your face and throat, your chest, abdomen, all the way down the fronts of your legs to the tops of your feet. Right side of the body, the whole right side. The whole right side of the body. And then the back side of the body, the whole back side. Your awareness is on the right side of your body. And then the back side of the body, the whole back side. Back of the head and neck, your whole back, your hips, down the backs of your legs to your heels. And then you're just letting go. How you feeling? Your awareness is on your brain. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths with your awareness on the brain. Awareness is on your brain. Move your awareness to the spine. your brain and spine both together. And then the brain and the soles of your feet. As you're inhaling, you're moving your awareness up above the ankles. As you're exhaling, exhale down into the earth. Your awareness just moves down into the earth. You're just letting go. You're letting go. You're being still for a moment. So you're checking in with your body, your feelings, your thoughts, and let's share experiences. You can share experiences, ask questions, process this, unmute yourself, type in. Go ahead and fire away.
And right now, we're just gonna do the art programming shares and questions, and then we'll go into the regular Q&A. I'll keep you guys posted when we transition. Yeah, go ahead, Dorothy.
Hey, hey.
Hey, Greg. I would say that the effect, I feel like it's calming. I mean, I'm still feeling it, like relaxing, sort of chilling, you know?
Oh, can I say something?
Yeah.
Your voice went down a couple tones. It sounds like morning Dorothy right now, probably. Like when you get up, you're like, ah, good for
Well,
you. Yeah,
it's
yeah, good.
still working, but I do have two questions. So
Sure.
I see you wrote on this list best used with sustained inhalation, comma, applied to the wrist or in a salt bath. So, um, under what circumstances would you say I might decide, oh, I need to apply this to my wrist right now?
I would say it's not so much about like a symptom, like, how sometimes you just start getting, like we all do, we start getting like a little wound up, or we're having a hard time relaxing, or there might be things going on. I would say this is more like about kind of conditioning the body so that, the emotions don't get really stirred up, even in difficult times. And, Samantha was just sharing a thing a couple of days ago where, you know, it wasn't something that happened to her, but somebody was really like kind of really emotional. And she said normally in the old days she would have kind of gone there with her,
Yeah.
gotten worked up, and she was just like, oh, okay. Like, and she was just like she didn't have the emotional responses that mirrored that person's, you know, um, I don't even know that they were worked up about something. I think they're just kind of in that state a lot. And she was just like, uh, she was relaying an incident that had happened, and there was a lot of emotion about it. And Samantha was like, okay. And she just said it was like she was an observer. And I would say that that's kind of what we're looking for. Of course we're going to have emotions and everything, but the calmer that the emotional body is, the more that the heart gets activated. And it's not, sometimes the emotions may seem calm, but it's because we kind of have checked out, or it's the ability to be present with it, feel the emotions. And even if something arises, if you're a little bit less non-reactive, you kind of process through it, and it just bam, it just goes to the heart. And so I would say, it's probably more of a long game where you're, yeah, if you're going through difficult times, you might use it, but it's more of if you just constantly keep conditioning the body, that the emotions will keep staying calmer. And then when things arise from the past, or something, is presented to you, or, some weird situation happens, you've already done like the groundwork so that you don't have the crazy emotional responses that the situation might normally stimulate.
Oh boy, that sounds great.
Yeah,
What one other thing I
sure.
I see that I wrote in my notes, uh, it, that Greg likes this one, but
Yeah,
also,
yeah, yeah.
what I wrote was good tonic. So I don't know what that means other than do we
Body
take it in
tonic.
part? Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah, body
gotcha.
tonic. Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
It's a great body tonic. Yeah.
Okay.
Because the thing that's nice about the body tonic is, here we're doing sustained inhalations, but a lot of times the different Auric programs, it's like kind of the cheating way of doing it. Like you just go, I could sit for 20 minutes and inhale and do the whole thing, or I could just rub the body tonic on me and call it good. Salt baths are kind of that way too. Like if you do a salt bath with the oils that are in the programming class, then it's a way to kind of go through and process it. So for me, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll go through and I'll do the process here, and then I let it kind of cook for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then I go take a salt bath with that same oil.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
So, do you know if the body tonic's on the side or?
If not, we could put it on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Okay, that's great. Thank
yeah.
you very much.
I would imagine it is, but we'll have to check. I mean, I could actually check right now. to
Well,
go-
don't worry about it. I'm
It's
sure
not. Okay.
I could
None
put
said
in a
it's not, but
request. if I
I
need
have
it.
a sneaking suspicion since you asked the question by morning, it will be on the site.
Okay. All right. Thank you so
Here's
much.
on.
And then we have some shares and questions in chat, but if you want to go ahead and raise your hand for regular Q&A at this time, feel free to go ahead and do that and get yourself in line. So some of
That
the
would be a good body tonic.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So we had very relaxed.
Good.
Someone's asking, what is in this oil blend?
Oh, that's a very good question. I thought, didn't we put ingredients on this? No.
Mm.
No, we didn't. Okay.
Robert, will you post the link for the regular emotional elevation? See if maybe we posted it with the regular oil. Oh, I have it here. Somebody shared.
Okay.
So I'll share it with everybody. Emotional elevation is neroli, Roman chamomile, Cape chamomile, St. John's wort, rose absolute,
Oh my God, it sounds delicious.
anise, cashmere lavender, and sitka.
I think I have to go and take a bath with this right now. That sounds delicious. You had me on neroli, by the way.
Oh, whoops, my last one I'll fix. Thanks, I needed this.
Yeah. Well, like as soon as we started doing it, we got about like, when we did the standard approach and we got to the front, the side, the front, and then the right side, Samantha goes, I have more energy. Usually she goes, I'm usually knocked out, but like all of a sudden I'm wide awake. But then towards the end, you got kind of more knocked out. Yeah, but it's like, because that's the thing is we think of emotion as being like, oh, I'm upset or I'm angry. But a lot of times it's just like a kind of weird tension in your body. And we didn't have a bad day. We had a very good day. We got a bunch of things done, but you were going from one project to the next, to the next, to the next, and just like this. And so, even in that, there's a little bit of emotion that gets generated that's not like angry or upset or sad, but it's just like, got to get that done, got to get that done, got to get that done, got to get that done. Okay, what about this? What about that? So it's like kind of, I wouldn't say deadlines, but you're just trying to get a bunch of goals done for the day. You have your to-do list and you go, okay, I'm clicking them off, I'm clicking them off. And the end result was that, the space felt better. We got a bunch of things out, like everything got done. It felt better to have all those things resolved. But still, the drive to get those things done, it does generate a little bit of emotion. And so it's not something that we ever really get away from, but we can keep it tempered so that it never gets out of control. But we're always generating some homeostatic emotion. It's just the nature of our physiology. Yeah.
This could be my new perfume.
Yeah. It's pretty nice. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you got a couple of chamomiles in there that are real nice, the neroli, rose. Yeah.
Wouldn't this work to help an emotional person you were working with closely or sitting near?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It would help the person and it would help you with the person. You know what I mean? Like sometimes our emotions get stirred by other people's emotions. It's not always just us generating everything, you know? Yeah, but I would agree.
I think I would put this on my wrists if I had an unexpected emotional encounter with someone, or perhaps if I anticipated an encounter to be emotional.
Yeah. I would say that, and I would also say, this is a joke that I make a lot around the office. I think this would be a good one for when I'm breathing, like when I'm inhaling and exhaling, meaning you gotta wear it all the time, you know. There's a bunch of oils that I was like, why am I not wearing this all the time? You know, so
All right, so that does conclude our ARC program journey for 15 here. And oh, I just grabbed it again. Haha. Next week, have your endocrine support handy.
oh yeah.
So that'll be good for next week. Number 16. I'm apparently dropping bottles, so maybe I'm a little more spaced than I realized. And then we'll get started now with our regular Q&A. So you can raise your hand